Greetings, everyone. Rev.Hawksblood here, calling from the Big Island of Hawaii. Co-host Tina Bird. So let me just say hi. Everything's going crazy lately. Wherever you are, do you notice that the electrical appliances and things that run on electric, or even batteries, are having weird kind of problems? Everybody you know is sick or having problems. Something's dramatically changing right now. I know it was a full moon and everything, but outside of that, chemtrails are crazy here in Hawaii. And I'm going to get into a couple things, but I put up a title: how to determine if something's real or not. Are you living in the illusion, or you're living in a lie, or you're living in truth? Do you know how to prove that to yourself? I mean, in the UFO world, you either accept it or you don't. Most people make that decision because most people don't have a direct experience with UFOs and aliens. So they make a decision in their mind whether they want to listen to people or not. Me, on the other hand, I disagree with 99% of every speaker out there. But that's your choice to listen to them, accept it, and believe it. I mean, they make really good stories. They give you sounding good information. Sadly, none of the information's provable. So it's just like ancient aliens. You make the decision to listen to their stupid stories or not. Me personally, they're all delusional. But on the other hand, people want to believe things so bad, they're desperate. So you pick up whatever you can and say, well, that's good, that's true, that's going to happen. And then what do? They pray, oh, everything's going to be okay. So we're right smack in the middle of that. Wow, we have this worst disaster with this virus coming across the world. We got China preparing for a war. We got a lot of things going on. China just launched some more bombs, which is obviously they're not friendly people, which everybody thinks they are. This virus is spreading even through their prisons, whether it was intentional or not. Nobody knows the truth, but there's so many conspiracy theories out there about it. You got a choice to listen to them or not. So with that, I'll let Tina say hi.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tina Bird here in the UK in England. And tonight with Tommy, we'll be talking about UFOs and truth and probably a bit of everything. So with that, hello, and I'll go back to Tommy.
And did you see me black out or no?
Yeah. You just we had a power cut there. I think I'm not quite sure what happened.
My computer's doing that. I got in touch with the company. They already took this month's money out already for the show because they said I'm not ready. I'm canceling this show and going to some other company because it keeps doing that. And I pay too much money to have.
Isn't it your network though? Here in England, we've been having mini blackouts like that. So it's not all the electric and everything's been going off like for a couple of seconds. So we've had like mini blackouts here in the UK. Not many, but during the storms, we've had storm after storm after storm because it comes across from the US.
That pops up, let's see, probably about every 10 minutes.
Could have a bug in your system.
It does it like it's downloading, and it shouldn't be downloading anything.
So someone's trying to stream us live, Tommy.
I don't know what it is. The company still didn't figure it out. They didn't see it. I sent them the link. I said, watch the video. You'll see it happen. She goes, well, I didn't see it. Well, I'll let her watch this one because it's only, 10 minutes into the show, and it did it. And we're going to see it happen like probably, I'd say, every 10 minutes. So, wow. But I just stopped talking because I continue when I see the screen come back up. But here's the thing. We listen to preachers and ministers and rabbis and all these different kind of people telling us how we should live and what's important. We got the president telling us what he thinks is important and what's not. And then we got all these people fighting. I never saw it this bad ever. So many people fighting with each other, the Republicans and Democrats, both lying, both putting each other down to the max. Rather than telling us what they're going to do, they'd rather put somebody else down and saying they're liars. Well, these are all liars because none of you are going to do what you're telling us. You're not looking at the problems. And I've been writing letters. I write 10 letters a day, roughly at least. And I write long letters. I don't write just one sentence. I tell them off completely if I can because they're talking about how the weather is not real. It's not being affected by anything we do. And I said, just look at Puerto Rico. They started fracking the past 2 years now, and they're going to the fault line. And they're having giant earthquakes every day. Could you imagine that? I wonder why. It takes the top scientists to say, "Oh, nothing's wrong." How about something is wrong? I'm just going to say a couple things to make you think before we get into this. For the past 25 years, we had a couple major disasters with animals and creatures and things like that. Well, I don't know if you remember when the bird kills started happening. Thousands of birds and
Yeah,
millions of
they're
birds.
finding them dead all over the world, weren't they?
They died within a couple hours. Science came up with, oh, there must have been firecrackers going off. It must have been gunshot. I mean, and they said they must have been scared and flew into each other. No, you don't fly into each other and kill each other. No, that never happens. Not under any normal condition. But I mean, the birds were falling on the ground dying and stuff like that. I worked for the phone company when it happened, and there was birds all over the tops of the roofs of these buildings and everything everywhere. And they said at that time, oh, it could only affect certain birds. It was affecting the eagles and the hawks as well.
This is something to do with sound waves around the Earth, wasn't it? It was found to be in the end. Is that right? Sound waves?
Sound waves. They never admitted or could confess what it was. But when the elks and deer in the United States started dying in herds, I mean, herds of elk were dying, herds of deer, the only scenario that came out of that, they said they think it was the mad cow disease. Really?
Oh, yeah. But didn't they just find some huge animals in Africa dead? They said it got hit by lightning. Is that right? Hit by lightning?
I didn't hear that, but their scenarios are pretty ridiculous 90% of the time. It's like UFOs. Now, anybody, and I'm not for a lot of the UFO stuff out there, but Project Blue Book is on tonight.
Oh, is it?
It's a good series. It's done quite well. And it shows you how they had these two people, one from the government, one scientist, come in there and say why everything was fake. He became really famous in the UFO world when he put out his book. But in the interim, he had to go in there and make excuses for what was happening. I mean, he was pretty much against everything at first. But I think tonight he's actually going to be shown that aliens are real. And then that's what actually changes him. But I
already know they're real.
But when he goes into the base, I think in his aliens there or something. I don't know.
Right, okay.
It's interesting because people.
That won't be shown in the UK, by the way. We got probably another 3 months before we can see that.
7, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It was only 6 minutes, and it blacked out for a second again.
Oh, God.
So what I'm going to do is I just want to go over a couple little things like that because when all the fish started dying years ago in Jersey, where I lived, they had a fish kill. 1.2 million dolphins, whales, and another fish got washed up on a shoreline.
Oh, that's got to be seismic activity, surely.
Well, they never said what it was, how it happened, or why it happened. Then there was two other fish kills rather recently, and they can't admit this one giant river. All the fish died. Up to 1 million fish just came washing on the shoreline. All these little scenarios mean something's wrong. And science isn't about to prove it or prove it to the average person. I'm sure they know that it wasn't a grasshopper that spit on them or something, some weird idea they came up with that made it happen. So the truth is somewhere. And I mean, they're saying the truth is out there. It is. But to find it is hard. So when I say when you listen to a speaker, you tune in, UFO special, whatever, and they talk about ships and stuff. Yeah, there's two things it can be: a government ship or an alien. It's not like there's 1,000 other choices. You got two choices to choose from.
And it's good to know the US and British government been around a couple of million years, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And that they're still playing with stupid toys right now, which Tesla came out with in the 1900s, which they're using every which way. And they're the most deadliest weapons on the planet. So people better wake up when they see ships. Now, people say, well, the space programs are fake, and this is fake, and that's fake. Well, in 1952, the year I was born, twice in a week, and it's all over the History Channel, they keep showing it, that these fleets of ships went over the White House. And it happened twice in a week. Truman and Eisenhower, during those time frames, decided to create some group of people to do something about it, and they were called Majestic 12. I knew one person from it, and he was terminated. But now it's Majestic 32, meaning that there's 32 people involved instead of the 12 that were originally involved with it. But my eyes are burning. Oh,
You're right.
I think they're spraying chemtrails or something. I went out this morning and my eyes just started burning the second I went outside. Ah,
Do you want to go and wash your eyes, Tommy? You okay?
I got an eye wash somewhere here. But
Well,
so-
let me ask. I'll start talking. You sort your eyes out, and I'm just going to recap and just go over what I think about what you've just said. To start with, you said like people started voting in the US and people were fighting each other. I mean, from me, I'm not an American citizen, so I shouldn't really have a point of view about how your economy and country is run. Everyone, is to their own. But in my view, same as the Prime Minister here in England, if people voted for Mr. Johnson, Prime Minister Johnson, or President Trump, then the people voted. Why people are still arguing about it 3 or 4 years down the line is ridiculous. And to take a mickey out of, basically, not just when you take the mickey out of someone, your president, you're taking the mickey out of all the voters that voted for him, the public. The public voted for him because they wanted him to do something. Then surely the whole country should be behind him. That's the people in the White House or the Senate. I'm not sure how it works, so please excuse me if I'm not getting it right. But they should just let him do his job. And then if you want to say something or give him feedback, then do so, but do it at the end of the term of his office. You've appointed him there to do a job. Let him get on with it. That's as far as I can see. So that's that. Are you feeling a bit better now? How's your eyes?
Yeah, I put some stuff in there, but
hold on. I haven't finished yet. So Project Blue Book, I completely agree. I love that series, and I think it's very true to cases that I've heard of, and speakers have a lot more experience. I'm not really a researcher. So yeah, I'll bow down to that, and I think that's for them to actually make this series. They've obviously spoken to people on the inside, got their facts kind of straight, and I know they've embellished scenes, but fantastic. Project Blue Book, watch it, love it. Don't knock shows. I love Ancient Aliens. Someone else has got an opinion. We may not agree with it, but I absolutely love it. So there's something else I want to talk about changing. Yeah, I think you're very right. There's a few things I want to bring up about Earth changes recently. Now, in the last, I want to say 3 or 4 months, probably, I've been seeing things in the sky. And if you look on my Facebook page, I'll put like tonight in tonight's sky, and I'll just put a picture of whatever I've managed to take a picture of on my Facebook. But apparently NASA has agreed, and science, all my face I'm going red for some reason. It's coming through the screen at me, Tommy, now, has agreed that there's a new moon apparently circling Earth. Now, I spotted this object that came in months and months and months ago, but apparently scientists only discovered it in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I've heard no more about it. It's still up in the sky, still twinkling away. It's very much near our atmosphere. It's closer than the moon. So I can't understand why NASA hasn't launched something up, took a picture. We've had more across the news about this so-called moon. It's not an asteroid. If it's orbiting our planet, they're saying it's another moon. Where's it come from? What's it made of? What is it doing? And what is it releasing into our atmosphere? Could it be, the COVID-19 has come from that? Probably not. It's probably man-made. Or is it, we don't know what, because we do know particles do come through from space. They do come through to our atmosphere and stratosphere into our breathing air. So is it releasing something? Is somebody checking that out? What is going on? I've had absolutely nothing since they announced that they found it. And I don't think the announcement was big enough, because that's something that obviously affects Earth and Earth sciences. And, I saw it months ago, so there must be other astronomers all around the world that are seeing things in the sky. So then I'll chuck that back to you, Tommy.
All right. Back to Project Blue Book. J.J. Hurtek is one of the people involved with that. But we have to realize the movie, the series that's on, it's I think they only put out six shows a year, but is based on these two actors that are really interesting, the roles they play and what really went down around them. So it's all based on one person's truth, which is, I don't consider bad or good, but this person was involved doing what he said he did, and was out there trying to prove what the government wanted him to prove. But we have to realize, no matter what we watch, there's truth in it and there's lies in it. So you have to filter everything you see. And my point of doing our show is to put as much truth as we can out there. Aliens are real. UFOs are real. Government ships are real. The government playing games on us is real. So there's a lot of things that you got to fine tune how you're going to fight them.
Can I ask you a question, Tommy? With all your experience, I mean, this is just I've got to say, I'm a novice. I'm only what they call like an experience. I can only tell you from my experience and what I've seen and understand. Because before, I didn't believe in anything unless I saw it, and we'll get to that later.
Okay.
If the government, they obviously know about aliens, they obviously know about all these projects. They've obviously lost a few men as well. So all around the world, not just American and British men and people from China and Russia, they've obviously lost men around the world and women. My question is, do you think that we're supporting our government enough? There must be so much intense pressure from the world, from the World Health Organization, NATO, all these secret programs, other countries fighting each other, ceasefires, collaboration with other countries. Do you think, never mind pressure on the government, maybe because they would have so many questions to answer, should we give them, I know they've had years and years and years, should we give them now the opportunity or the support to say the public is right? We're holding our hands up. The public is right. I know they'd have so much, they'd be sued left, right, and centre from so many different capacities. If they could bring out a law saying, okay, we're not going to be sued, but aliens are real, and give every opportunity to the people that wanted to be right to come forward. Do you think that if we stood back, the government would do that? Or we just support them in the defence of mankind?
Well, that's a serious problem with what's happening right now. With Stephen Greer going out mainstream trying to push for disclosure, all right, and then people following him. Disclosure will never happen, all right? People want it and say it's happening. No.
Can I stop you there? Disclosure. So it is what everyone thinks is disclosure. People want to, like you're going to say, unless it lands on the White House lawn. Disclosure is happened. It's been happened. It has happened. It's happened thousands of years ago, millions of years ago. It happened last week. Aliens are contacting people here on Earth. They're contacting who they want to. They're bypassing governments now. They're abducting people. If they're abducting people and telling them.
That's not disclosure.
You mean you want our government to say yes?
Disclosure is when it's released to the world and told that this is what's happening. Disclosure in somebody's backyard, somebody breaks in there and rapes a person and runs away. That's not disclosure. If he came out and went on public TV.
Oh, Tommy, you're frozen. You're frozen. You're right.
That would be disclosure. Disclosure, what Stephen Greer wants to do is get the world to see and believe that UFOs are real. But that's not disclosure. Everybody can see that. So it's not disclosing anything that we can't perceive. Disclosure is what government does with these aliens, what they do inside the bases, what they're doing working with the aliens. That's disclosure. If they told the world what they were doing, which they cannot admit to the things that they did or they are doing. All right. Now, here's the factor, which is the main factor to this world right now. You got rich and poor people on the planet. Less than 10% of rich people. All right. Those people control what the government does. They control what corporations do. All right. The underground cities are only for those people. Why are they building underground cities? Why don't they talk about underground cities? Why don't they show them? Why don't they say how much money they spend on them? None of that's public. There's disclosures that's not going to happen because they can't tell the world, we know the world's going to be destroyed and we've got our people safe and place for them to go. But they wouldn't have a place for 7.4 billion people. So in the outcome, they know the world's going to be destroyed in a large way, just like it did in Sodom and Gomorrah or Noah's Ark. I mean, the world's going to be destroyed, not the same way, but it will be. It could be a plague. The plague could start taking up 60 million at a time in a year.
Tommy, so I hate to stop to tell you this, but that's the end of days, the biblical times is already here. Like you got plagues the locusts again in third world countries. You've got a virus like a plague spreading the earth. You've got earthquakes going off. You've got tsunamis. These are the end of days.
Well, they showed that in the Seventh Sign, the movie and the book, and they showed the signs that they said end days, which is in Revelations if you read the Bible. most people don't want to believe the Bible anyway, because it talks about the four horsemen of God that comes
The
down to this
apocalypse,
world.
isn't it? Yeah.
But that was all written by one person, John, and he was a disciple of Jesus. But outside of that, we have Nostradamus' prophecies. We have a couple other people saying what the end times are. Corey Goods coming out and saying the world's going to end real soon as well. And he was shown that by the Turians or whatever blue race he said he's working with.
If you rewind our talks and my talks and interviews, you'll find that the information that they gave me said whatever was going to happen started last year or the year before, and that there would be a war or something would happen to the population, and it wouldn't go until 2022.
Well, there was a top psychic. She was one of the oldest psychics on the planet. And she was right up until 2014 when she died. But after she died, all her prophecies didn't come true anymore, because she said the United States was going to be wiped out and rebuilt by Germany in 2014. So all her dates from that a certain period changed. Now, what I noticed, and I know the top psychics in the United States, or I knew them, or one's in jail right now, but Sean David Morton was one of the top in the United States, and he's in jail. And they're blinding him. They're doing everything to kill him and everything else. But in the interim, anybody interested, please write to me. Please write to his. I can get you in touch with his wife. What they're doing to him is obscene, and they have no proof he did anything. They're not going to let him out. They're not going to even let him try to, because he can't see. They blinded him, so they did a lot of things to him. But when we talk about the truth here, getting back to where we're going with this, the government has their bases, their cities, their underground food, and everything. Do they care what we do out here? They let Trump go out there and play his game. I don't know how much Trump really knows. They said he was informed about certain things. Whether they want to take him underground, he would try to make it a money market underneath the earth, inside the earth when he gets put down in there. But it's about people already that have hydroponic farming and all those things that make food incredible. So they're eating the best foods there are. They're eating the most filtered air and everything else. They don't deal with direct sunlight. I mean, and sunlight is good and bad. With the ozone layer destroyed the way it is, the sun is very bad. All right, it's toxic. It's dangerous to the skin. I mean, in early morning and late afternoon, it's good for your healing and energy. But during the day, when it's at its peak, it can actually destroy a lot of cells in your body and everything else.
Yeah.
So when they live underground, they don't get that. They're going to be missing a lot of things. They took all the water from California, so they got everything they need under there.
Jesus, Tommy, are you seeing what I'm seeing right now?
No, what?
Not quite sure what's happened there. I've had a load of data come up. I'm just going to take a picture and show you. It's something about Twitter card, create a card, content, stream the yard, browser, live studio. It's just going crazy my side, and it's all on your. Hold on, not sure what happened. Let me just take a picture so I can show you. I'm just going to send it to you now on. Do you want it on Twitter or Messenger?
On
so Skype.
Put it on Skype.
1 second. And then you can show your company, because it's a lot of data.
All right. So getting back to where we are, the government cannot say that they're allowing alien races to do what they do. But little do they know, the government can't stop them either. If you're working with a higher power and you try to work out some mutual agreement, okay, is one thing. But to say we're going to overpower the higher power, no, it doesn't work that way. Alien technology is so far advanced than we are. So for us to say, oh, no, we're going to stop you from doing that, we're not going to let you do that. No, you come up with a compromise. When they came up with their first compromise, when Truman and Eisenhower both involved with this, they decided 10,000 people was what they're going to allow the aliens to take in a year's time. So that alone shows that the government sold us out right then and there. You still got a problem going on there, Tina?
Yeah. It's come up with a yellow triangle with 5 hazard warnings. I think it's gone now. Is that better? There you go. Jeez.
I mean, you look fine on this end. That's all I know.
Yep, no, it's fine. Now it's gone.
So, we have to think about what you want from disclosure. Well, like you said, Aliens can do whatever they want, but they can brainwash people as well.
What I'd like, sorry, what I'd like from disclosure, if it does happen, is like a couple of steps. I think one, they've got to decide: is it going to be a worldwide announcement at the same time? Is it going to be like a coordinated effort? Are there countries that still don't know? Is there countries that it's going to be allowed to be released in? Why are they deciding what and what parts of society and the public and countries around the world get to hear that news? Was one. So I'd like to see a plan. Two, what are they going to tell the people? Are they going to tell it's one race, we've already made a deal, or they'll be landing, we're going to talk to them next week and come up with a cohabiting license and speak to them and start space travel? Or how are they going to explain to the public they've known for hundreds or thousands of years that these beings are coming here? And once they do that, you've got catch-22. Well, hold on, all those abductees that were they've been taken, are you compensating them? Are you going to apologize to them? Are you going to give them free healthcare? And then you've got all the people that has been killed, shot, locked up, and said that they were crazy for seeing UFOs, or even said that they've been abducted. So how is that going to work?
That is the number one reason why they can't. All right. United States never said they were sorry to what they did to the Native people. Ever. The Native people that are alive in the United States are still on reservations that are completely stripped of money.
But they didn't make pacts with people to say, oh, hold on, you can take humans if you give us technology. That is an exchange. If they're exchanging, they're getting something from it. I'm not getting something to what happened to me.
All the government gets from aliens, and this is a fact, is weapons. They don't get anything else. They're not getting spiritual information. They're not becoming aware of anything beyond.
Are we the human race getting something from now? Are we getting protection from these beings now? I don't think we
not.
are.
We never have it.
I don't think we are, but I think we're trying to level the playing field out of it.
See, the problem is the race that the government's working with aren't the bad races. I mean, there's bad and worse. So they're working with a race that cares about their race, which is the Greys.
Have you seen your chat line, by the way?
Somebody said hi. Hi, greetings. Somebody came into the chat room. You got a question, you can put it up. But getting back to, okay, we have this scenario, and it's a sick scenario. Because what they do with abductees is nothing to help mankind. All right, it's not about protecting them. And that's the Greys. The reptilian race is not here to make friends with us. They're not here to be buddies or teach us anything. Now, Putin himself on Russian TV said there's an alien race that wants to two alien races that want to destroy the planet. And he was talking about the reptilians and the draconians. And the government can't be friends with them. Now, we have a couple races here which work with the government directly, but they're not working hand to hand. The tall, not the.
You froze again then. Do you know that?
What was that?
You froze again then.
Oh, it's going to freeze every 8 minutes. What I'm doing. But getting back to the Nordics, which people think are spiritual beings, are not, and people work with them. They win a person's confidence, and then they use them in their own ways. But when we talk about the tall whites, they have a base up near Area 51. It's called Area 53. And they got Area 54 there. And they let the races stay there. And the government has it surrounded. Nobody can get past Area 51. So they're not going to get to Area 53 and 4. So there's scenarios going on that mind boggle what they can release to the public. But the serious part is it's only about weapons. It's not about food. It's not about love, compassion. It's not about peace. Those words don't exist. Aliens don't have feelings. The only thing they know when there's a war, they can absorb those bodies. They can absorb their souls. They can absorb their energies. So,
from my experience, they've gone to great lengths when I saw those babies, those clones in those pods. When I touched the pods and they linked with me, or when they brought the little one out, it was a clone of me. It was me as a baby. When she linked with me, she was dark inside. She had my pictures and she had recordings of my emotions and my pheromones and how my body worked and released pheromones and that. She was black inside. She was a blackboard inside. There was no I've got no maternal instinct or anything from her. I got that she was very strong, very strong, very direct, very whatever she wanted, she was having, but and I don't think that's something they can control if they give up the human, trying to take the humanity out of us. But that she wasn't like that inside. She showed no emotion whatsoever.
Well, with them genetically coding humans.
Hello to the new person.
Well,
I
when
can't
they
answer you. I can't write on there.
hold on. Greetings. But here's the thing: when we have two people, and like they take these children, and they're going to clone them and breed them and all these things, they might be trying to breed our feelings and emotions into them. That I can't tell you. You might know more about that, but I don't think they don't have them. All the races right now, the races that are dealing with us, not the supposedly good ones, but the reptilians, the draconians, the mantis, and the ones that are really scoffing up the planet, do not have emotions and feelings. They don't care what they do to people. So when people say, well, the good ones, there's no good ones. I don't know how much I can stress that to people. If there was a good alien, one good alien that could do something, obviously they would do it. I consider myself a good person.
Can people understand this? Like, you've got to look at our visitors or aliens, or I don't know why people call them grey, or they're glowing white, but they are scientific soldiers. Someone wants an invitation link. They are. Is that Sasha? No, it's not. Is it?
Hold on. I thought I sent it out, but let me stick it up here. Hold on.
Hi, everybody. By the way, I think they are. I lost my train of thought now. I think they are. You've got to look at them as scientific soldiers. They are following orders. Where these orders come from, there's everyone's online. Hiya. If you take a look at the bottom of Tommy's live comments, you'll see a link.
Oh, Sasha couldn't get in. I thought I sent you the link. That's not the link. Just yes or no. Sasha, is that the link? Check it out. See if it is. I'll send you the other one if that's not the right one.
And Will or anyone else that would like to join us, Tommy's now posted a live link up at the bottom of the comments.
I only bring 6 people in, but that's okay. We only have 2 so far. So.
Or you can message us if you like to want to ask questions. That's probably better if you can't get into the chat room, or if you just write on Tommy's live comments, I can see them as well.
He's trying to get in. You're almost there, Sasha. I saw the thing come up said you denied, but try it. You should be able to get in. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a better way to do this show.
There he is. There.
No, I did. I looked in Skype because that's when you usually send link, and it wasn't there. So I was like,
well, I couldn't.
Tommy's having technical problems tonight. Let me tell you guys.
It's non-stop with this site right now. I don't know what's going on, but. Greetings. You got any questions or answers right now that you want to bring up real fast?
Quick.
Nope. I just wanted to get in and listen
no
in.
Problem. Okay, that's no problem.
It's good to see you, Sasha. Hello.
All right.
Thanks.
So,
as I was saying, Tommy, you have to look at alien visitors as scientific soldiers. They are sent here for a purpose. I'd like to know who and to what end, who is given his directive and orders, and to what end. So it's not about them. They're obviously soldiers. Like we'd send our soldiers to Mars, or we'd send our scientists to a lab to test embryos. Somebody's given them that order. So they are soldiers on another planet, are scientific explorers, or they are soldiers. So you've got to look at alien beings as scientific soldiers. So you need to know who is given them, and soldiers aren't supposed to show emotion, but who is given them orders to take human beings.
All right, now think about that. Now, if we went to Mars and Venus, which we did, but what do you think our mission to go there is to do?
Populate the planet. Get off of this one.
There, we don't have everything set up there. You have to look at why aliens are doing what they're doing. If after hundreds of thousands of years,
millions,
their races got wiped out, nobody's admitting to that. They're not here to say yes or no either, and they're not going to. But in the interim, what did they leave the human race? Very little. And I know from all my past lives put together, in the beginning, when the human races were brought here to this planet, they were incredibly, I would use the word spiritual, the only time it ever really existed. And during that time frame, uh, we were compassionate, we were loving, we didn't eat animals, we didn't do a lot of things, but we did care about the planet. And then when Atlantis was destroyed, you had the reptilians come in here, you had the draconians come in here, you had the Anunnaki come in here, and they were all reaping havoc on the planet. And they destroyed our consciousness. They reprogrammed the human race. They didn't change us. We still look exactly the same. So when they say they did this and that, no, they didn't grow more fingers on our hands. They didn't put more arms on our body. They didn't give us another third eye or any of those things. As a matter of fact, we had a third eye, which they don't allow, or they really help people block so that they can't use it.
Another question you should be asking as well. We're just mere human beings. We obviously don't understand what lies beyond death. There obviously is something. We don't understand enough about human bodies. We don't understand how they work. Now, if these very technologically advanced species and race come here, why would they want an archaic DNA, perhaps, or an archaic society of people that kill each other, kill the planet, poison each other, rape each other, and eat all the animals? Why would you want that? And then if you're then blending us with them, are they worse than us, or are they better with us?
Well, no,
why are they taking our DNA?
You have, well, there's two simple answers to that. One is we taste good. But the second part of that is, all right, why are they here? Because, they're learning what we are and how we are, why we do what we do. They don't have feelings and emotions. So that's separate from them. And they're still learning about that. By the time they learn that, then they might understand God. But in their reality, their world it's limited to just traveling space. I mean, it doesn't they didn't build the crystal city on this planet. They didn't do a lot of incredible things, which they could have if they were smart or aware beings.
What they showed me is that's not their true form. They choose to be in that bodies. We leave our body, we leave our physical vessel when we die. They choose to be in their bodies. That is not their true form. Their consciousness or their being inside is like a host. They choose to be like that.
Well, they can tell you whatever they want. All right. The truth is they are a reptilian if they're reptilian. They're a draconian if they're draconian. They're a mantis if they're a mantis. It's just like we're not human. This human body is not us, but we're forced to stay in it. Not because we want to. All right. Soul created a level of growth for everything. Like a cat's not a cat, but it's in a cat body. But it doesn't have the awareness to get out of a cat body. So, I mean, the reptilian race is so sick. Are they better than us in any way? Of course not. They wouldn't be here if they were. You don't go to, like I always use a scenario, we don't go to an ant colony to learn from them. All right. We'll play with ants for 100 years to see what they.
Oh, sorry, I know you're frozen there, Tommy. So what? But then, if they're coming here and seeing us as an ant colony, what the hell would you use ant DNA for? We can't use it.
Well, no, they're using human DNA. Yeah, food and blood. The only thing they want.
But then why would they be cloning us and putting their souls in them? They were the babies I saw of me was a blend of them and me. It was me on the outside and them on the inside.
Well, DNA is physical, and the human race and scientists don't understand that. Spiritual side is different. Your DNA can't clone your soul. I mean, they're trying to say science can. No, you can clone a body. You can clone.
But another thing it brings up, those babies had those clones of me had all of my memories. So it must be something in genetic memory. Or they clone my consciousness, if that's possible.
Memories are in the physical body. The average soul, when they die, forgets all their memories anyway. Yeah. And when they reincarnate, they have no memory of it. So the aliens figured a way to tap into that and take it. But that's not going to help them because they're not able to abduct spiritual beings. All right. And I proved that by myself. I mean, I was 10 feet from an alien, but they can't touch you.
I've been closer.
No, you're not protected that way. When I was 6 years old and they were coming to abduct my brother, The ship came right up to the window, and I just went over to the window and put my hands on it, and that ship shot right back out into space. So there's beings that are aware, and if you're aware of God, and I'll use the word God, because nothing else can touch you except the government. I mean, demons, entities, aliens, Bigfoot. I was a foot away from a Bigfoot as well. But the idea of energy, everything's aware of energy. It's like an ant. But you know, take a mosquito. Now, this is to show you how it works. Take a mosquito or a gnat, and you have an apple in your hand, and they'll fly around that apple, and you're standing right in front of them, swatting at them, and they're still trying to get a bite of the apple. So the ignorance of the creature world is so bad, they don't think. It's like, you know, the old saying.
To magnify that ant or that bee, used to magnify that ant or wasp, whatever it was that's flying about you. That would have more toxicity and poison in it than anything else.
Well, there was a special on insects. If you blow every insect up like 100 times, every creature, every insect is built as a super warrior. Armored plates, armored spikes.
Armadillos.
No. I'm talking about real small insects. The incredible body plate they have on their bodies. I mean, just take an ant. They're 100 times stronger than their body is per their size. So these are giant, incredible warriors that live through time. The roach, which isn't the most protective of itself. I mean,
it's one of the longest living, isn't it?
What was that?
Is it one of the longest living evolutionary-wise?
It's the oldest creature on this planet.
Yeah, that crocodiles.
But they learned how to fly. They learned how to go underground. Crocodiles didn't do that. So they have the ability to do things to whatever happens to the condition where they live, they can change their reality. Just like a caterpillar. I mean, it starts a moth. It starts off in the river as a little worm swimming. What do you call it? Swimming in the water. It comes out, forms a caterpillar, then it changes into a butterfly. So that's metamorphosis. Very few creatures can do that. I mean, there's only 2 creatures on a planet like a salmon that can change sex, and they could produce and things like that.
The creature tardigrade is
that's the one that can live in any environment.
Like in space, yeah, they're able to survive in space.
So there's some things that still don't pertain to what's happening to us. All right, we were given this body. Aliens were given their body. Each one's at a level of learning, and when they come here, they're learning, but they're not learning the right things. They give us weapons. You don't give a spiritual foundation weapons to kill themselves, because then they do, because they're still learning as well.
You've got Mr. Tinfoil Hat wants to join the conversation.
Well, greetings everybody in the chat room. So what we got to do, and this is the main thing why I'm doing the show. We need to wake up ourselves, understand why we're here, not why government says we're here, not why aliens say we're here, why we're here, what we're going to do while we're here, what we're going to do when we leave. Please don't believe, don't accept the idea that you have a mission. You came here for a mission. Very few people have a mission, and that's sad. Well, I'm going to get married, I'm going to have a house and a car, and that's their life's about that. I mean, if you take somebody like Tesla, he wasn't ready to do the mission that he was given. But when the aliens came to him and said, here, we're giving you this to bring out to the world. Einstein met with aliens too. But whatever race he worked with was really deceitful aliens. A lot of the information they gave Einstein was lies. But Tesla was working with a race. I can't say what race. I don't know. But the race that he did work with, I saw it in his notes, said that they gave him 200 inventions. Half of them were, at least 50 of them were extremely dangerous weapons. So if you're a race, why do you go to another race and give them super bad weapons to play with? You know, unless you realize what they're going to do with them, and obviously they're going to destroy themselves with it. You don't give little children firecrackers and a lighter to light them, because you know they're going to do something stupid with it. So it's imagine the said, here, Tesla, we're going to give you this information. Tesla said, before he died, he said, they're not going to be ready for what I'm giving them. And he was 100% right.
So in that case, if that aliens come all this way to take me and take claims of me, I'm not the brightest spark in the toolbox. What the bloody hell would they want me for?
Well, it's like when you go for a blood transfusion, do you have to analyze the person to see how smart they are?
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, they just want me for DNA.
Did you care if he was a killer or murderer, what he was with his life? All you know, you need his blood. They need blood. It's not about how smart the blood is.
Yeah, I've got funny blood. They can have my funny blood.
Yeah. So, we have multiple scenarios out there. And we have to choose, again, getting back to why we're here. The synopsis that we have a mission. There's only one mission given to soul. And that's to find out what it is as soul. Not what it is as a human, what it is living on planet Earth. Everything you learn on planet Earth is useless. It's okay while you're here. But when you step out of this physical body, nothing on this earth is going to help your spiritual body or your soul body.
On that note, because I'm just looking at the time.
You're leaving?
No, not yet. I just wanted to quickly brush on the topic about belief and things like that on COVID-19. I'm dying to talk about that. Oh, just a quick one. So I'm not sure if you heard earlier, Sasha, I was talking about the discovery of this new moon that's orbiting our planet, and I said, is it possible they're releasing things into the atmosphere? But anyway.
Wait, hold on. You said a new discovery of what?
A moon. It was on our news in Britain about a week, 7-8 days ago. I've heard nothing of it since. It was on.
Wait, how did I miss this? How did I miss this?
They haven't announced it. It was just on. Scientists think they've discovered a new moon orbiting the planet. I thought, well, I was seeing this funny star in the sky for about 4 months. I'm taking pictures of it, and I could get hold of it. If you look at my Facebook, I took pictures of it ages ago. It's all on my Facebook. Like in the sky tonight. Have a look. Anyway, what's my train of thought now? COVID-19. So they've stopped taking in people for prayer at the Vatican, I believe, if that's correct. They've closed down Italy. They've told 60 million Italian people they cannot leave their homes now. So Italy, apart from the regions, Lombardy and the 14 other regions, it was 11, and then it spread to 14. As of yesterday, Italy is closed. They're closed.
Yep.
All the flights have stopped there. 60 million people in quarantine in their own homes. The death rate is horrendous.
See,
that is starting to hit Britain now, and we're just waiting to hear. We're in phase 1 here in the UK, and we're told by next week we're going to phase 2.
See, whatever's going down, remember, and I'm telling people, realize it's all prearranged. Now, in between 96 and 98, when they formed the idea of the UN Agenda 21, you need to pull it up online and read what it is. 159 countries agreed on that. Basically, it's meaning they want to implant the New World Order, one world order. Now, 6 presidents all mentioned that already. They said we need one world order. So on that, what it is they have to separate the United States first off, because it's too powerful as a country. They got to break it down. Now, they're going to do the same with all the countries. They got to break down the countries to put them in circular camps, meaning like a city, so that they can control. And then they will hand feed them and do whatever they want with them as well. So people are saying this ain't bad. This is a conspiracy. Yeah, it's a conspiracy theory, but by who? Who is the creator of it? Now,
I think it's man-made, personally.
Well, who made man to think that? Okay, we're controlled by alien races. The millionaire, billionaire people are controlled by Satan. Whether anybody wants to admit that or not, Satan's their guiding power. The way they think, the way they act, and what they do. All right? And that's, Jesus admitted that and said it 3 times in the Bible. I don't want to go into the Bible stuff, but basically, Satan has rule over this planet, not aliens, not anything else. Because Satan rules the alien races as well. So they rule this realm, which is the physical reality. There's 3 dimensions here. And inside those dimensions, there's 3 dimensions. So when science says the 6th dimension, 7th dimension, 8th dimension, they're still in this dimension, really.
You're right there, Sasha. You turned your microphone off, mate.
So, yeah. But see, here's the thing. We have to look at what we're going to do. Yeah, we're coming close to it. The most dramatic thing that's ever going to happen to this planet. Now, what is the goal? Does Spirit wanted to die? Hold on. I know there's a couple of articles about Spirit and stuff, which I'll get into, but I don't want to. I'll wait for that. Somebody was talking about we ain't alone. Well,
we're not alone. I keep telling people that we are not alone.
somebody
May
said,
I just repeat that as well? I've got
the
to say,
statement was, if we're dead already, we can't be dying, can we? All right.
oh, just to reiterate what you said.
But see,
about,
wait. Soul reincarnates. So whatever happens in this moment, your soul is going to probably reincarnate because you didn't figure out why you came here. You thought you had a stupid mission to accomplish. And guess what? You got nowhere to go. So it's like saying, I'm going to take a trip to Europe and you don't know a thing about it, what's there, why you want to go there, but you're going to go there anyway. Why? So scenario is when you die, you're going to come back here. If the Earth's destroyed, there'll be another planet Earth so that the souls can be put on it. They might have to start over with nothing on the planet again. Who knows how that's going to go? I mean, if we were intelligent and we died and had to reincarnate, we'd come back to a beautiful world. But since we're not doing that,
we do have a beautiful world. We're just killing it, Tommy.
Well, no. I'm saying how we live, what we live in, what we drive, all that is toxic. I mean, I think about riding horses was much more incredible. It'd be much more fun than riding in a car. Every which way. Sure, you can't get as far, but we always think getting further away is beneficial. I want to go to the other side of the world. Oh, why? Because it's the other side of the world? The houses are bigger, the houses are cleaner. No, they're dirty. You live in the United States, most countries are 10 times dirtier, more toxic. So why would you want to travel anywhere? But what I'm saying is we created this horrible world we're living on. Not God, not Spirit. We did. And we allow it. And we justify it. And Trump's making sure that we toxify the planet. So he's completely in control by Satan. I mean, I wrote under his links all the time. I said, you know what Jesus said? And I repeat that over and over. But I said, look, read the Bible. I know you don't believe in it, even though you might say you do. But Christians don't understand what the Bible says even. So how could he? Considering he doesn't.
Maybe I should get Jeffrey Seelman and Trump together.
Well, that would be an interesting trip because...
Perhaps you need to bring him over here because they've just signed a deal here in the UK to reopen coal mines.
Who, Trump did?
No, the UK are going to reopen coal mines after they'd closed them for the last 30 years.
Well, Trump's pushing everybody to do that. Let's destroy the planet. Let's make it like...
Well, they need to stop fracking. I agree. They need to stop fracking.
We got more jobs having them digging holes in caves and ground and going underground and playing.
We're going backwards, not forwards.
Well, that's the problem. We don't need... See, you know, in Atlantis, let me just say that real fast. Imagine... You know how I could describe it? And this is, if you want a visual of it, watch the movie of the Time Machine. The original Time Machine, which came out in the 50s or the 60s.
I've seen that movie.
All right, watch it again. Watch how those people lived. All right, they were all dressed in white robes and they had food on the tables. They had no concerns, no cares. The weather was beautiful. All right, but the race that was controlling them for food decided to take them in and eat them every once in a while. So,
I can relate to that being on the table. I can relate.
Yeah, exactly.
It's scary.
So let them do what they want.
Oh, he's gone again.
At least make them happy. All right. And as long as you're happy, you think you're living in the bliss. So the bliss isn't as blissful as it is when they find out they get stuck in that cave and they turn into food. But the idea of a perfect world, we had it.
Hold on, Tommy. Let Sasha speak. Go on then. Sasha.
Oh, no, you good. I just had a question. Like, isn't it like counterintuitive for the soul to be in such a bliss environment because it's not being challenged?
Well, you know, we have all the abilities to do multiple things. Better, bad, worse, good, all those words fit into it. And we choose the worst one. Whatever the worst decision is the one we take. This virus is going to become the worst disaster, which, like you said, now
why haven't they declared it a pandemic? Pan, like as in the world, because it's on every continent.
It's going to happen when they want it to. When they feel they got the world to where they want it, then they'll say that. Because you want to implant world order, you got to get chaos beyond controllable level. And now they say, okay,
you're never going to get world order. They can't even pay the bloody tax. Oh, sorry, they can't even pay their taxes.
Money's fake. Tina, you know money's fake, right?
Yeah.
There's no such thing as money. We could take marbles and say these are billion-dollar marbles, and base our money on that and print billions of dollars on it. When they had gold, it wasn't like you touched that gold. We have trillions of dollars of gold in there, so I'm going to make trillions of dollar bills. When a person gets a paper bill, they could say, give me the gold. But see, we went off of gold in 1945. So you couldn't get gold. When the gold certificates were sold as bills and the silver certificates, you could get that silver or gold value of that paper. But they stopped that. And we went to the stupid certificates now that are paper, and they mean nothing. I mean, but
basically now in the UK.
But it's based on supposedly oil. All right. Well, we got a lot of oil, so that's what it's based on. Now, China wants to go back to gold, which we should. But then again, gold is not anything soluble. You went out and dug and
gold
found
is stone. You can dig out the earth. Why is it money?
Like I said, it has nothing to do with what it's really worth and how it helps change and make the world better. We give things power. People work with crystals. People work with whatever it is you want to work with. You give it power. I mean, if a family has 10,000 baby diapers, a good diapers power. Well, they're powerful. Yeah, the smell. I mean, you could give your power over to anything, good or bad, and we choose to pick anything stupid, things we can't get. All right. What if they made lemons valuable? All right, they're good if you go on a health diet. You could become healthy and everything if you use lemon a lot more, and they're pushing it right now. So the scenario is, what are we basing our money on right now? And it's going to change. China's already trying to make it over set up for gold, and the United States know that's going to happen. And again, once you get a gold certificate, you can go to the bank and say, I want my gold on this. And they would have to give it to you. Because it's just like a check. Your check is based on the money you have in your account. And you want to take the money out of your account. They got to give you your money back.
Not necessarily. Look what happened. Does it
no.
Yeah, no.
Or they could pick, like the banks can close their doors tomorrow, which is a possibility. And then there's going to be more looting, more chaos. The world will be collapsing. And then what?
They have said in the UK that they're if they could suspend health and safety laws, but as well crime, they said only serious crime. They're only going out to the public to serious crime offences. Lula's going to go mad. So, what the hell?
Now, listen, Trump will come around and say the Democrats did all this damage. Arrest every single one. We'll crucify him. But you know, you have to realize this is not the true reality that Soul decides to dwell in. We make it that. Disease and sickness is to get away from this reality. People don't understand that either. Why would God allow sickness to affect the planet? Because if people lived forever and didn't grow, the planet would be the most toxic thing in the universe.
To me, I know you said about God and that, but to me, if God existed, I'm not just in anybody's religion, this is my personal viewpoint, why does he allow such horrors to happen? And he has done absolutely nothing for me. Look what the hell he's done for me or hasn't done for me.
I know you don't like to talk about religion, all right, but God doesn't care.
Oh, I know that. Doesn't care about me.
Why do you think it lets Lucifer reign over the astral plane and Satan to reign over this realm? It's to push soul to become aware or not. You either get smart or you don't. You become aware or you don't. If you don't, you stay here. And you watch the crumbling of society. Or you move forward and you let go of this planet. Sickness is to help you get away. Because if nobody got sick, imagine, say, instead of 7.4 billion people, we have 100 billion people on this planet.
They're researching the wrong things in this day and age, let me tell you, guys.
Well, the last number I want to give everybody, 150,000 people die daily. All right, that means 100,000 people die in a hospital every single day. 50,000 people die on the road, on the street, or in their house. All right, But guess what? 300,000 are born every day.
Yeah.
So when Trump says we got a good workforce, it's not keeping up with the population increasing, which it's doing.
The death numbers are a little higher now.
Oh, today it's going to escalate. Yeah, well, if it reaches
I'm just saying
3,000,
with this whole virus pandemic, yeah.
if it turns to 300,000 a day, the population will deplete.
There are so many stories coming out of everywhere. It is hard to believe, but I think we've got to remember, guys, the official figures coming out of every country, not pointing fingers here at anybody, but the official figures are only the people that have died or been confirmed, as far as I know, in hospital. So what about the people that have died outside of hospital, people they found dead in the streets or in their homes? And from contracting this COVID-19, how long do you die? Because they just announced this morning there's an 80-year-old person died. Well, where did he get it from? He didn't travel abroad. Where did he get it from in the UK? And how long did he have it before he dropped it in the hospital?
Well, let me repeat this again for everybody, whether you listen to this or not, believe it or not. A friend of mine came on a plane from California to Hawaii in the beginning of December, the week before they classified the virus and put it out there. 14 people were taken off of that plane and brought to the hospital. They quarantined half of the hospital. They put spacesuits on and were working with these people for 3-4 weeks, right? Well, she came down with 108 fever. She almost died. They read her rights and they thought she was dying.
I've had that done to me before. That's scary as hell.
Work and healed herself. But 12 people died. All right. It was before they classified it. So they didn't classify it as the virus. They classified it as the flu. All right. Which made it okay. All right. She got away. She was allowed to go back home. Within after she was healed, she was allowed to go back home in about a week and a half. And she's home now, free and clear. So the virus is in their space of how they can control it, how people can carry it. After you get rid of it, are you still a carrier? They don't know much about it yet, like how people can really get it. They know it can go in the air now, which makes it like one of the most dangerous viruses out there. But then the scenario of how they created it, it's based on the 3 viruses that we had. One of them, the main things that they wanted to add to it was being able to be airborne.
Is it a form of SARS or something? Right.
It's 3 parts. One of SARS, one of they took a part of each one and
avian flu. Was it avian flu? Is that right? I'm not sure about that right.
I'm not sure.
Have you got SARS, Sasha? Did you just cough?
Yeah.
You know, my partner said, "Don't cough. You can't give me that. I'll die if I get it."
Right.
You know.
I was like, oh my God, I'm smashing everything tonight.
That's why I'm drinking my tea, you know, to stay healthy.
Oh, it is tea. I thought it was beer.
Oh, no.
Right, oh God, who's saying that? Right, I've got to go in a minute, guys. Let me just read this last comment.
No. I stay away from alcohol.
Yeah, I don't drink. No, I don't drink at all. Tea. I'm a tea drinker. I don't drink coffee. Oh.
Did you?
It looks like you were drinking coffee earlier.
No, tea.
Oh,
tea.
okay.
Look, it's in my cup. Tea. I don't drink coffee.
Did you read about the 1 billion people died? He said when 1 billion people have died, did you read that?
Yeah, Tinfoil commented. Yeah.
Somebody just came out and said the numbers are 650,000 already died of the virus in one place. So, I mean, those numbers, like you said, you lock up a country, the death's going to multiply.
It has to be serious. The Italians are very serious people. Let me tell you, I live with one. But they are very serious people. They will shoot you on the street. For them to tell 60 million people to stay indoors, it's got to be serious. They're losing so much money.
What are they going to eat? What are they going to work to get? How are they going to pay where they're living?
They're not. The Italian government, it's just been on our, if you Sky News Live, if you go onto Sky News live stream, it said, or the BBC, but it was on Sky here in the UK Sky News, said that the Italians are going to they're going to suspend paying tax, and they're going to, so people don't have to, and they're going to suspend bill paying, so people don't have to pay rent and bills temporarily while this outbreak's going on. and they'd be allowed, I think, 10 people at a time to go to shops, and that's it.
Wait, are you saying free rent? Can I go there now?
No, see, they have to do something like that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to control the streets.
Economy, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Because nobody would pay their rent. Nobody would be able to stay in the house. Nobody able to eat. It would be it's going to become a nightmare any which way you look at it.
Well, started. They went into quarantine yesterday, and it spread to the whole country by last night.
What that means? They can't bring food in. They can't have trucks coming in with food to go to the food store.
All right. I here in England, I went to do a monthly shop. So a monthly shop for me is like one of each item just times 4. So like 1 pack of toilet roll, or 4 cans of beans, or 4 cans of peas, or what have you. Yeah, so you get the gist of it. 4 loaves of bread, whatever. And I went there, got a shopping trolley, went to the checkout, and like, no, you can't have that. I'm like, sorry. They're like, it's 2 of each item, or you can have 3 cans of beans or 3 cans of peas. You're not allowed to buy 4 of anything. And we're on rationing here in the UK, so you can only buy 1, depending where you go, 1 hand sanitizer, if you can buy it. You can buy 2 hand washes, and you can buy 3 cans of beans or peas. And if you can find toilet roll everywhere, you can buy 1 lot of toilet roll.
It's starting to buy the toilet paper by the truckload right now here.
Yeah, people are fighting over toilet paper.
You know, and you can say, in the future, what are they going to treasure the most? Toilet paper?
That's going to be the new currency.
You know, this whole thing's not funny in any way, but if you don't look at it from a different viewpoint, you'll be eating yourself up alive.
Well, one of my friend's husbands works for a major shopping firm that sells food here in the UK, and he's just been laid off. He's a lorry driver. They said there is no ships coming in, there is no other distribution coming in, so you can't like drive from the docks to just say one of your local stores and take food anymore. He's been laid off for 3 months with no work, which means that there's not more food supplies coming in.
The comment in the thing says they like to drink, but it makes them sick. Try smoking. But here's the thing, you know, make sure you have enough happy pills. When the world comes down and there's no food, you could just take a bottle of happy pills and say goodbye.
I'm not. According to the aliens, I'm going to die in a huge explosion.
Well, hopefully,
not brave for staying on Earth.
Tina, I would say maybe they're watching you, and they'll take you. They asked you if you wanted to come up there already, right?
Yeah, they asked me if I want to go with
them. They might come back and take you, which would be a good thing for you if you want to live here.
I think it was a decision. It was a split decision there and then. If I went with them. I could never come back to Earth.
They're going to need somebody to give them their blood and their DNA and everything else. So
they've had it all from me. They can't have any more. They've got millions of my little claims running about. Take some of their blood.
No, they like you. Obviously, they've been working with you all your life, so obviously there's something about you they like.
God,
maybe your blood's sweeter than mine, but it must be something.
God,
I was going to say, can you put in a good word for me so they can take me up too?
No, you don't want to go.
I'll tell you what, that annoys me, Sasha.
Yes,
I never asked for it. You don't get to ask, and it's scary as hell.
You got to ask them what their main food is, what they really like.
Well, when you're stuck to a table after you've been taken against your will and you're frozen, you're scared poopless, and you can't move, and you can't really ask questions.
You still scared now? Are you?
Not when they take me now, and I realise they've taken me. Or the last time I really knew is when one of the little one I haven't seen before was at the end of my bed on the right hand side. He came in about 2.5, 3 feet tall, and he didn't link to me. He had like the others behind him, but I knew straight away he was here to take me. He's like, "We're here to take you," and I'm like, "Yeah, just take me." I wasn't bothered then. But when you go to bed and when you wake up, you see the bright white light and you wake up and you're on one of these, and it's not a bed. When you're on a table, you're sat up looking down your body and you can't move, and there's beings there. You've got to like try and focus. And when you can focus, and they're like they're inside your body doing things, and you can see what's going on. You can't panic because your brain doesn't work. You can only watch in horror about what's going on. That is what's happening. So if anybody wants that, being tortured alive, come around here. I'll get my steak knives out. I'll take you to the table. I'll stab you a few times.
If that was me, I'd say, "Hey, look, can you cut my stomach out and just sew
it up?" You can't talk. You can't.
No, you can communicate with them.
You can't because you're frozen. Only if they when they lean over and look at you.
They know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Say, "Look, take my stomach away so I don't have to eat much anymore. Can you do this? Can you do
Done
that?
that already. There's not a lot
No,
left in
you
it.
want this? I got what do we got? Two kidneys.
Oh yeah, I've got 2 kidneys. My liver's buggered. My inside bits are gone, and
You can
I've
take
had,
a kidney, but you're gonna give me something back. Let's make a trade.
I want one of my clones back. I can't.
Giving back
Obviously
your
now I
coins.
can't have children,
What I'm saying
but
is,
I could last week.
wait. Let me just say this. A friend of mine who claimed that he worked with the tall whites up on Area 53, and he said you can't go near them. They come near you, you die. But he said he was talking to them, and he asked them what their favorite food was from this planet. And they said strawberries. I just ate a bunch of strawberries today. I said maybe I can get in better touch with them. But they everything eats, whether they're in this solid body.
Oh, guys, I'm gonna go eat, but I've got to go talk about eating. The reason why we didn't do last week's show was this. It's me, yoga. I was advertising a new NASA top my mum had got me. There it is. That was me. The day before I went to yoga. Oh no, just before the day before. The next day I come home. I was so bad. I had a weird dream. Woke up with that and
Wait, no, put it over in the camera. I don't think anybody
hold
saw
on.
it.
Oh, what that?
No, where's your belly?
Oh yeah, look at this. My stomach's swelled up.
Oh, okay. Everybody see that?
Yeah, no, I saw that post. I saw that.
Yeah.
I
Hold
know
on,
you
just to
don't
show
want
you
to
it's
stay
not
here.
fake.
I know you don't
Hold
want to stay here much longer, but we'll bring you on. Hopefully, we can get you on next Tuesday.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get the.
Or if you want to do a show
There
sooner.
you go. So that's what time it was taken in day.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there you go. So it's not a fact. My stomach's swelled up. I've got no inside bits. I can't have children.
We got to talk about that because when they cut that mass out of you, they wouldn't tell you what it was.
10 minutes, less than 10 minutes that came up like that.
We'll do a show on that alone because we got to talk about that. All right.
16th, I'm going back to the hospital if the hospital's still open here because they got COVID-19 in our 2 local hospital.
What day is the 16th?
Next Monday. Come in. No, Monday after.
So we'll be able to talk Tuesday. Tell everybody that wants to watch something or learn something important. Tune into our show next Tuesday. We're going to get into some hardcore stuff again. I appreciate it, Tina, that you made it today, that you're okay to be on the show. Sasha, you too. Look, this show is about truth. We don't put lies out there. We're not trying to make you believe in things that we know that don't exist.
Do your own research.
The world's crashing. I don't know how we're going to get ready for it. How you get prepared for not having food? Oh, stock up. If we don't have water, we're really screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, here in Hawaii, a lot of these houses here have catchment tanks with water, but the water's pretty toxic. You really don't eat it.
If we don't have clean oxygen, you're not going to live very much longer anyway.
Well, I think it's going to be radioactive oxygen. So then even Revelation says mutating dead bodies. Imagine that. We're getting close to that.
That would make sense with this 5G rollout. Yeah.
And
all the things that are happening, it's just too much stuff at one time.
Guys, I've got to go. I've got to have my dinner.
Dinner. Till next time.
All right, Tina, it was good talking to you.
Thank you very much, guys. Sasha, it's brilliant to see you. Tommy, it's brilliant to see you. I'll bring my tea on next week on my show. Thank you, everybody who came on to the show. Sorry, everybody couldn't get in the chat room, and thank you all for your comments. I'm Tina here in the UK, and you can find me on Hive, Hive. That's Human Individuals Visited by Extraterrestrials. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter. You can message me, or on Tina Baird on Facebook. Until next week, thanks, guys, again, and goodbye from Southampton here in the UK. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right. A few more minutes. I'll keep the show running, but
Tinfoil says bye as well.
Well, bye. Well, he said bye to her.
Well, yeah.
Here's the thing. We have something happening that never happened, and we have large numbers of people that are going to start going crazy. Now, I don't believe in killing. I mean, sure, people are going to start looting, and all those things are going to start happening. And it's not because they want to, because they were pushed in a situation where there's no other choice that they do have. What's the government going to do? They're going to have to do something. And how are they going to stop it? There's going to be a battle, and it's not going to be with other countries. It's going to be with our own people. How Trump would handle it if they closed off the United States from every other country. He's making it downplaying it, oh, it's not so bad. Well, pull up what happened to Italy today.
Has America done that, or are American borders still open?
No, they're not doing anything yet.
Oh, okay.
They're still bringing boats in with people that were exposed to it and everything else.
Oh, wonderful.
That's how smart Trump is. So I don't want to get. I'll let it go today. I might try to do another show tomorrow or maybe even tonight, but we'll see what happens. But again, Project Blue Book is out on TV. Watch it tonight. It's a good series. It's done pretty well. But outside of that, you know where to look for the truth inside yourself, not outside, not on somebody else's words. I mean, I can put my words out there, but I only tell you to look for the truth yourself anyway. So with that, have a good day. Try to make it the best you can. Do what you need to do. Get ready for whatever's going to happen. All right. Thanks for everybody coming in the chat room. Thanks for you, Sasha, coming on.
No problem. Thank you.
So I sent you the link right before the show started because she wanted to do it right away, and I didn't realize it was that late already.
Gotcha.
No, put the link up on Twitter. I mean, I'll put the link up on Facebook and Twitter and all them after it's done. But thank you for coming on. Thank you, everybody. Till next time. You heard it here first.